I'd like to know how many people attend a Iowa Cubs game, every game, and how many of those players stay in Iowa after they're finished playing for the Iowa Cubs. After if they retire, where they retire to if they weren't from here. And how many hockey players for the, I don't even know what they're called, Des Moines Buccaneers, I don't know what their name is anymore, are from around here and stay here when they retire. How many of these, any of these semi-pro teams, because that's all we have here in the state, is semi-pro teams that you don't ever hear about because they don't win any pennants or anything. And they're all like step up teams to the pros, but you don't ever hear of any of them stepping up. It's always like, oh yeah, we got this great player, and we really think he's going to step up to the pros this year, and he's not from here, and they're backing him like, oh, he's a local boy. They ain't local. They play here. It's they freaking news they try to throw at you. But I'd like to know how many people, does it pull from the state? What is the attendance record for any of these Iowa Cubs? Got a brand new freaking, it's a nice freaking stadium. It's sitting in a built up area of Des Moines. There's people that go there that just let's go to the Iowa Cubs game because we could just walk over there because they got all these apartments they're building downtown. And so they walk over, and you drive by there, and there's a lot of traffic. But I mean, after a while, people are going to say, "Well, these guys never win," because I don't ever remember winning a game when I went as a kid, and it sucked. And they try to promote stuff, but I don't know why these guys they're just here just because they're out of college. They didn't make it to the pros, and so they're stuck in semi-pro leagues. I don't know if they get tossed around. I don't know. But I don't know how many people attend these hockey games. It used to be back in the '60s. It used to be, I don't know. If I remember, there was a lot of people. I can't remember. I was awful young when we went. And but now they're wanting to build a new hockey stadium in a mall that's basically dying. Yonkers, left, and so they got a big Yonkers store. I don't even know if another store moved into the Yonkers place, but now whatever, it's empty, and they want to rebuild the mall. They say what they're saying is, oh well, we had an anchor store that's empty now, but we want to put a hockey stadium in there. But what we're going to do, instead of just putting a hockey stadium in there, we're going to rebuild the mall. I mean, how many people do you know that go to the mall are hockey fans, semi-pro hockey fans? And so that now they're wanting to build into a defunct mall. Well, it's not, I don't know if it's defunct. But every time I drive by, it's not very many people there. Not compared to the other two malls they got here, is like Valley West and Jordan Creek. Those are always full. And because they're brand new. Well, Valley West ain't brand new, but it's partially new compared to Merle Hay. It's like last Merle Hay used to be like I don't know. It was an old cat. Was it an old Cats? No, that's another place. Anyway, so they're wanting to put this semi-pro hockey team that they got a stadium here, and they want to put it out in a mall, and they want to use the taxpayers' money to do it. It's like I think they want to use taxpayers' money to put a semi-pro team out in Iowa City or Cedar Rapids or someplace like that. And it's all for these politicians to be able to hand out box seats that they're given to vote this in. They're saying, "Oh yeah, we'll vote that in. That's no problem." So we can, so they can hand out tickets to, you know, so they can rub against whoever in the bigger cities like Chicago, whose they must suck up to, because Chicago, oh, why don't you just build a hockey arena in your mall? That'll bring in business. That's what we do. They're trying to compete. We're giving a ride to farmers here in this state. The infrastructure here, they're saying, oh, the bridges in Iowa are defunct. We need to rebuild bridges. And I haven't heard anything about that. Haven't heard our taxes going on that, but they're putting taxes into stadiums. They want to put our taxes into stadiums, but I haven't heard anything about bridges getting rebuilt. There's a couple here in Des Moines they built, but they expanded the highway, so they rebuilt the bridges. But that had nothing to do with, it's not talking about. I'm sure these are rural bridges that are like, I don't even know if there's old steel frame bridges around. They've all turned them into the concrete, but then they're saying those concrete bridges are dilapidated. I don't know what, but the infrastructure, I haven't heard. I guarantee you they don't put anything into the snow plows. They don't put money into keeping the highways safe, but they'll write tickets. They put enough money into speed limit signs to where you go 2 miles at one speed limit and then 2 miles at another speed limit just to catch people speeding. Revenue off of freaking speeders. This is getting ridiculous. This is like hillbilly land where they all just rub up against somebody bigger than them or richer than them, and then make all the citizens of a small town or the state pay for their hillbilly adventures, because that's what they are. That's what it is. These are a bunch of freaking hillbillies on a hillbilly adventure, making the state pay for their hillbilly adventures. That's what it is. They're not doing anything. They're just, oh man, sick of these politics.